underwater. That's the, well, the doomsday prediction by some, that if Greenland melts, the ice caps melt in Greenland, sea levels could rise by 21 feet. That means you and I right now will be slightly on the damp side. So what should we do? Should we build a boat? No. Let's build a floating island. This could be a vision of the future, and it's serious. Professor Carl Ross is from the Mechanical Engineering Department at the University of Portsmouth. Professor Carl joins me now. Afternoon to you, Professor.
Good afternoon, dear sir.
So, a floating island, the answer to the problem of rising sea levels.
It's not only rising sea levels. You have to realise that in 1925, the world population was 2 billion. According to the UN, the current population in the world is 6.8 billion, and in 2050 will rise to 10.5 billion. That means in 100 years, the world population is more or less quadrupled.
So we need a bit more room as well.
The problem is that not only the population increasing, but land levels might decrease because of rising sea levels. So therefore, now some 71% of the Earth's surface is covered by water. Only 29% is covered by dry land. So the obvious way is to colonize the seas. And this is why I propose a floating island city, also a floating island agricultural island, which could grow crops using hydroponics, which you discussed earlier today.
Yeah. Now, why not just try and reclaim land? Why build giant floating islands?
It's no good having to reclaim land, because the reclaimed land will only be a few feet above the water. So as soon as the sea levels rise, the reclaimed land will be lost.
Is it possible to build such a big thing that would float? Would it actually float?
Oh yes, it will float, because it's supported on giant concrete tubular pillars, which are very buoyant because the inside is it hasn't got any water inside it.
So a bit like an oil rig then?
Exactly like rather similar to the Troll gas drilling rig, which is a massive rig. It's much higher than ours. The Troll gas drilling rig has legs which are nearly 400 meters, whereas ours is only about 75 meters high. In other words, the gap between the water level and where the actual platform is about 50 meters. So if the sea levels rise, we will still be way above being flooded.
Wow. So how big could you build an island? Could you build one, for example, the size of the Isle of Wight?
Well, not quite that big, but maybe the size of Portsmouth.
Right. So it's the size of a city you could build to float. Everyone could live on there. And we could be quite self-sustainable on the island, do you reckon?
We can be quite self-sustainable because to get energy, we could use wave energy. There's a method which has been tested at Hasda, where they have a giant snake-like object which they call an anaconda, and this anaconda could supply 1,000 homes. One single anaconda. We could also use tidal energy, where a 2-ton turbine could supply 1,000 homes. We could also use solar energy, where we could get 1 watt per square foot, together with biomass energy. In fact, we'd have enough, because it's an island, it could be completely and totally self-sufficient for energy, and it could export some of its energy to the mainland.
Right. Well, there won't be much mainland left by the sounds of it.
Oh, there'll be mainland. There'll be plenty of mainland left. There's plenty of mainland left. In fact, as far as Portsmouth's concerned, that will be safe because the city fathers won't let it go underwater. It's quite a simple matter to build a 22-foot high wall right round Portsmouth to prevent it from going underwater, just like the Dutch have done.
Right. Now, why have you come up with this idea? This is because there was is it a competition to come up with an idea for how to deal with climate change?
No, I've been interested in climate change for a number of years. I've been interested in doing a conceptual design of a floating island city for almost 15 years. But only about 3 years ago, we were able to start it. And I've been concerned about it. Everyone realized the population of the world is expanding, and that's the main reason behind it. Even if the sea levels don't rise, if you imagine a population quadrupling in 100 years from now, we will still need floating island cities because we have to colonize the oceans.
Right. And now, forgive me for saying this, Carl, please don't take offence, but when you tell people that your idea is that we build floating islands,
yeah,
and that's the way that we're going to progress, and that is the future,
yeah,
what's the normal reaction? Because some people might think that kind of this is just too crazy, that you're kind of one sandwich short of a full picnic here.
No, it's not too crazy, because they've already built floating island airports in Japan, and currently there's a big project going on. They're going to build a floating island city just off San Francisco. So they're actually doing it. They realize it's important and they're doing it.
And this could be... And how long do you see the game plan here? I mean, how many years in the future do you think this might happen?
Yeah, I would say as far as the Western world is concerned, maybe just towards the latter part of this century. But you've got to realize that in the Pacific Ocean and the Indian Ocean, there are a lot of Paradise Islands, which are only a few feet above the water. And if the water level rises just a few feet, there'll be hundreds of thousands of these people displaced. And they'll need somewhere to go. And so therefore, I would think that as far as those people are concerned, the floating island city will be built even quicker.
Wow. It's an amazing vision, and I'm so pleased you shared it with us. Carl, thank you so much for your time. That's Professor Carl Ross there from the Mechanical Engineering Department at Portsmouth University with his vision of the future, floating islands. Can you ever see that happening? Do you think we'll ever get to a stage where we need to build them? Love to hear your thoughts on that. 0845 30 30 96 1, the number to call. And if it is a floating island, could we, if it's all right, can we just moor it up against the Isle of Wight just for now until we decide what we do with it?